look at this look. Hey, look at this.
I'm not supposed to whisper, but that was amazing. Kan julle net, julle kan voel die emosie as iemand spoken word doen. Hoe hulle net vir hulself in daardie woorde inplaas is vir my, honestly, it blows my mind each and every time when I hear someone do spoken word. If you are amazing as that person that just spoke, which is our guest that is coming up, if you are into spoken word and you would love me to, of course, play one of yours as well, send it through. I got you. This is all about spoken word. This is about shading what's on your heart, what's on your mind, and just putting it down into those amazing guests. She's an author, a poet, a spoken word fanatic. Sy is niemand anders as Sama Sabanka, but formerly known as Sama Speaks. Welcome Sama. How are you doing?
I am doing so good, and yourself?
I am doing amazing. I can't complain.
Awesome.
It's amazing to have you in studio with me. But I just want people to know about you. Let's jump right into it and tell them, who is Sama? Tell us about your journey from Houston to Paul and how Sama Speaks was born.
Ooh, what a journey indeed. So I grew up in Austin. I was born in Austin, and I always had a desire to move to Cape Town. I didn't know what I was going to do there, but I always had a desire to move to Cape Town until I discovered Paul. And I came to Paul, and I just felt that this is really where God was calling me. And I heard God's voice for me to be here in Paul, and this is how I arrived here. But to rewind backwards, my story began when I was just 14 years old. I went through a hard journey of mental illness. I had severe depression, and I was suicidal and suffered self-harm and all of that stuff, and gone through a long time of rejection and didn't know why until I figured out later in my life, because I always felt like there was something wrong. And later in my life, I discovered that my mom drank abortion pills to abort me. And, I'm alive, and that's just a testimony of how God wanted me here, So yeah, I'm here. And my life has a purpose, and that's when I started writing, because I couldn't express myself at that moment when I was depressed. I couldn't speak to anybody. So I started writing, and in grade 7 I actually wrote over 360 poems.
What?
Yeah, in a course of a week, which was crazy, which is so crazy. But it's all God at the same time. And I was just like, okay, so I at first thought I was going to be a singer. But then I discovered, no, writing is what God is calling me to do. And that's how Shema Speaks started, because I'm like, my story, it's not for myself. Whatever we go through, it's not for ourselves. We need to be able to impact people's lives with our stories as well, and help them so that they can know that it's possible. All things are possible with God if you allow Him to change your life, if you change your mind, if you decide that you don't want to be that way anymore, then God comes in and says, okay, let's take you through this journey.
Yes. And of course, you have published 3 books already. 3 books!
Yeah.
Based on your mental health journey and your faith. So what inspired you to share your personal experiences with the world?
Well, ever since I gave my life to Jesus and everything, I was I was like, I just want to be genuine. I want to be real. I just had an urge within me to really impact people with what I went through, and I began feeling for others that has gone through or are still going through like this horrible thing called depression. And that's when I started writing, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start writing this book. But those poems for my first book, it was coming a long time. I've probably worked on it for, that's my longest book actually,
Okay.
because that's been coming over like, I think from 2011 until 2018, and 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 then I published it in 2021.
Crazy.
So yeah, it's just, I just wanted my life to impact others' lives as well. You know, it may not be perfect, but there's a purpose behind everything we go through.
And of course, and also you share, of course, your spoken word, your spoken poetry to express yourself and connect with others. But how does, of course, how does all everything that you shared about your mental health? I know it can be difficult to talk about, of course. But what gave you the courage to speak about it? What gave you the courage to actually share how your faith has guided you through all of it?
It's all Jesus. It's all God. He gave me the courage. He placed that fire, if you will, within me, and really inspired me to impact people's lives, because I was like, no person should have to live this way. No person should have to feel like they don't belong or they don't matter, or this is just what life is, because it's not. Life can change, and if we allow God to change our lives, then He'll come in.
Sure, guys, I want to cry here. And she's not just a published author; she's also an entrepreneur. Tell us, as a fearless female, being an entrepreneur, what message do you want to leave to your listeners today that is seeking to write something as well or to start their own business? What are you leaving with them today?
I would say choose something that you really feel like you are called to do, and go with it. Because that's what you are meant to do. So, and if you write, just start writing, because I promise you, the moment you put your pen to paper, it will just start flowing. Because writing is a way of expressing when we can't express ourselves physically through words.
That was Samar Speaks. Thank you so much for joining me in studio. I was excited the moment they gave me a number. I'm like, we need to get you on the show ASAP.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Of course, that was Samar Speak, the published author, poet, she's a spoken word fanatic, she's an entrepreneur, she's a woman that overcame anything that came her way, and she's here today. Of course, she's shared her story. But if you are, of course, someone that wants to share your story, let me know. You are still tuned into KC 107.7, right here on Fearless Female. Enjoy the music, guys, and this is the show that you should be listening to, and I hope you're still tuned in. Enjoy the music.